He sat in front of me looking so closely at my face, as if he understood every word I was saying. And when I told him, "If you want tilapia, you need to let Mom work," he let out a sigh and curled up next to me, like a child who finally calmed down. Moments like that remind me, this is my version of parenting. Only instead of a toddler, I have a sensitive pit bull named Santi.
What is that?
I don't have children, and Santi is my only kid. He's the most loyal and the most stubborn son, the one who sometimes throws me off balance and sends me right back into childhood memories. I remember how my mom would always say, "There's food at home." And now when Santi begs for sushi or steak, I say the exact same words, and I laugh. Life really does run in circles. He loves meeting new people, but he loves throwing tantrums even more when things don't go his way. And when I tell him, "Do you want to go to that fun dog social place?" Then stop crying.
What do you want?
He gives me this look like he's about to lecture me, but he still listens because he knows I always keep my promises. I try to include Santi in our family traditions. On Sundays, when we gather for our carneadas, my dad always grills a tiny piece of meat for him, no seasoning, puts it into his bowl and says, "This one's for the grandson." Everyone laughs, and it warms my heart that Santi is treated as a full member of the family. One of the most meaningful days for me is Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. It's not really a holiday. It's a time to remember everyone who has been part of our lives, people, pets, anyone we've loved. For his first Halloween, I wanted his costume to reflect our culture. It matters to me that Santi is part of that, part of who we are.
What are you doing? Dude.
We made him a little calavera-style outfit, a black cape with white patterns. He walked around the house with his head held high, as if he understood that this moment was special. And right then, I felt real pride and a desire to share the beauty of our culture with others. I always joke that I don't need a man when I have a sweet pit bull to cuddle with and take on little dates. And honestly, it's true. He's a huge part of my life. He goes with me to cafes, sits at my feet, rests his head on my knees while I work, and he's almost always by my side. Sometimes it feels like he understands me better than anyone. But Santi isn't just a goofy dog. When I'm sad, he becomes serious. He'll quietly come over and rest his head on my shoulder. And that's when I realize just how sensitive he is. People often think pit bulls are tough or intimidating, but anyone who knows them understands they're big, gentle souls. We've been through a lot together. When I'm having a hard day, Santi knows. When he's tired, I know. We're like a team that's learned to understand each other through tiny signs. And sometimes I think how lucky I am. Not because he's handsome or smart, but because the bond between us is truly real. Honestly, I don't know what my life would look like without him constantly being there. He makes my days brighter, funnier, warmer. He reminds me that love comes in many forms, and it doesn't have to be human. And if you ever see us out on the street, a girl and a big pit bull smiling at everyone, you'll know you're looking at the happiest parenting you'll ever see.
Dude.
If you enjoyed this story about Santi, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel to hear more touching and inspiring stories.